Question for Martin McGuinness, 9 O'Connor from the Irish Independent. Martin, you have been commended in the past for speaking about your involvement in the IRA. That's something that Jerry Adams has always denied. You also went as far to say that you believe Maria Cahill when she said that she was raped by a suspected IRA figure. Jerry Adams has never gone as far as to say that. Will you today go a step further and apologise on behalf of the IRA to Maria Cahill for the abuse she endured? And also, there's quite a significant concern in the Republic about the whereabouts and the identities of alleged abusers who we are told have been moved down south by the IRA. Do you have any knowledge of this, and have you reported any knowledge you do have to the authorities?
No, I have absolutely no knowledge whatsoever, and I think we've seen all sorts of speculation over the course of the last couple of weeks. What I do know is that I have spoken with the Taoiseach, and I've written to the Taoiseach, and I've also written to Peter Robinson around my proposal for the establishment of support for people who have been victims of sexual abuse in the past. Support in terms of counselling, hotline services for access to justice. And of course, my position is very, very clear. If people have information about any form of sexual abuse whatsoever, even if it includes Irish Republicans or others, and remember, the issue of sexual abuse isn't confined to one section of the community, it goes right across society, then I would appeal to anybody who has any information whatsoever to bring that information forward to the police services at North and South. My sympathy will always be totally with people who are victims of sexual abuse, and there's no ambivalence or equivocation about that. Well, I mean, the IRA are gone. I can't speak on behalf of an organisation that doesn't exist anymore. I think I suppose the sad thing about the Maria Cahill case is that the alleged abuser has disappeared into the smoke, and people are focusing their concentration on people who were actually not involved in the sexual abuse of Maria Cahill, and I think that's a mistake.
Just say on that, there can be no equivocation about sexual abuse or about the allegations of rapists being moved into the jurisdiction of the Republic. I accept fully Martin McGuinness's comment that anybody with any knowledge should bring that to the authorities. On the occasion of the debate in the Dáil arising from Maria Cahill's courage and her allegations, Jerry Adams asked me if I would meet with him. Well, I do intend to extend an invitation to Deputy Adams to come and talk about these matters, and we will have a very frank discussion about a number of issues surrounding that. I did receive the letter from the Deputy First Minister, Martin McGuinness, and I think everybody can share the sentiment about the necessity for counselling and the necessity for advice and information. The central issue remains, did the IRA decide after kangaroo courts or whatever to move people who were guilty of sexual abuse or serial sexual abuse into the Republic, to find out if that's the case. I've asked the Minister for Justice, Francis Fitzgerald, to go again to speak to Minister Ford to see whether it's possible to construct a situation where you might be able to have a dual system of examination of allegations and follow through, where compatibility to attend would apply. There is no point in setting up some sort of commission or some sort of inquiry or some sort of analysis if it runs into sand 3 months later. So we'll follow that through, and I intend to respond to the Deputy First Minister to meet with the leader of the Sinn Féin group and to follow through on the possibilities that exist, given that you have two different jurisdictions and two different legal systems in regard to something that there can be no equivocation about.
Can I have a question for First Minister Sturgeon? Just in regard to the findings of the Commission yesterday and the various issues about potential welfare flexibilities, there was the same issue at play in Northern Ireland. Just wanted to maybe assess your view in terms of potential cooperation down the line in regard to maybe the administration of welfare. And secondly, talk of potential devolution of corporation tax to Northern Ireland obviously hasn't been confirmed or yet, but given the Commission's findings yesterday in regard to Scotland, how would you view that?
Thank you very much. Firstly, can I switch on my microphone and thank Martin for his comments earlier on, and thank all of my colleagues here today for making me so welcome at my first meeting of the British Irish Council as First Minister. I think the discussion we've had this morning does underline the fact that although the proposals in the Smith Commission are highly relevant to Scotland and will be intensely debated in Scotland, they've got a relevance for all of us across the UK as well. I've had some very useful discussions already with both Carwyn and Martin and Simon about how we can share experiences and learn from each other as the process of further devolution continues. I'd say very openly, I'm very supportive of the calls that Wales and Northern Ireland would make for further devolution. So in the case of Northern Ireland, and the hope that an announcement on corporation tax will be forthcoming very soon, I hope very much that is the case. I think if that is the case, there will be some eyebrows raised in Scotland as to why that was a power that was not agreed to in the Smith Commission. It was certainly and has been a power that we've argued in the past should be devolved to the Scottish Parliament. But nevertheless, let's see what happens. In terms of the Smith Commission, and before I move on to the Smith Commission generally, I am very open to discussions with Northern Ireland around how we might operate in the future when Scotland has some additional powers over welfare. The powers that were recommended in the Smith Commission report yesterday would be limited powers, principally relating to disability benefits, very limited flexibility to vary elements of universal credit. So we need to see how that translates into reality, but there is an openness in my part to discuss future opportunities with Northern Ireland, and I think we were all in agreement this morning that that's an opportunity we should take. Generally in the Smith Commission proposals, I think Lord Smith has done an excellent job, getting 5 political parties in Scotland into a room over a very short period of time and getting agreement on the things that are in the report that was published yesterday is no mean feat, and I think he deserves a great deal of credit for that achievement. I welcome what's in the report and welcome all of the proposals that are recommended. There is a big job of work now to be done to make sure that the recommended additional powers are delivered. It's no secret, I don't think the report goes far enough. The proposals that we saw yesterday would leave around 70% of taxes for Scotland being set at Westminster, around 85% of our total welfare spend being controlled by Westminster. I think there's an opportunity to go much further. I think this debate will continue in Scotland up to and beyond the general election. I think there's very much a feeling that yesterday was the opening round of these discussions, and all of us here, as that debate continues, will have an interest in making sure that we share views and share experiences and support each other where we can. And I'm certainly very open to doing that.